Hey everyone, Brandon Miniman here, guest editor for John4Lakers.com, and this is a continuation of the video series on the Vudu set-top box. Now in this video we're going to talk about the setup of the device, and then we're going to actually go over the remote, because this is one of the strangest, smallest, weirdest looking remotes that they make for any set-top box. So we're going to talk about whether it's actually a usable remote, and then we're going to go through the whole menu system of the Vudu box, and I'll show you what it's like to pick a movie, to download a movie, and then to watch a movie, and all the other stuff that goes along with that. So, I'll see you in a sec. Alright guys, so here we are down on my setup here, and as you can see, the Vudu box is a nice looking, attractive device. It doesn't take up much room, so it's about 2 or 3 inches high here. It matches nicely if you have black components or silver components like I do. And let me turn it around, but first I want to point out 2 things to you. These lights on the side, the one on the left is a standby light. It turns kind of orange when it's not on, and then the green light is your network light. So when you have a network connection going, it will stay green. It'll turn red if your network goes offline or something like that. So let's turn it around. Alright, so let me get a little bit closer here. Okay, so here we are a little bit closer. Now this is the antenna, and what's great about the remote is that it doesn't use IR, it uses radio frequency. So you can be behind the couch or on the stairs or kind of far away from your Vudu box and still have it work quite well, so that's really great. Here's how I have it connected. I have it with my optical audio cable going to my receiver down here, and then I've got the HDMI going to the TV up there, and the Ethernet cable, of course, and to the right of that is the power cable. So really, not that many connectors that's involved here, as you would expect with a set-top box. Okay, so I want to talk about the remote right now. Now, the remote only has 5 buttons. So we have a power button, back button, play, pause button, a Vudu button which goes to the home screen, and a more button. So you're probably wondering, and of course there's a scroll wheel, you're probably wondering how can you operate a set-top box, how can you search for movies with just 5 buttons like this? Well, I'll tell you what, it's very easy. The scroll wheel really comes in handy when you're flipping through letters or trying to find various titles in their catalog. And what's great about the remote is it's completely ergonomic. So you kind of hold the remote like this, you put your thumb on the scroll wheel, and your hand just wraps gently around it, and it's perfect for right or left-handers. One of the problems with the remote is that it's dark, so if the lights are off, you're not going to see the buttons too well, and they're not backlit, so you can't tell what button you're hitting. So that said, you'll probably have to memorize where the buttons are, and it's not that big of a deal considering that there are only 5 buttons and a scroll wheel. Alright guys, so here we are on the Vudu main menu, and you get this when you turn on your device, when you turn on the box, and also when you press the Vudu button on the remote control. Now there are so many ins and outs of this, and it would probably take me an hour to show you everything, but I really want to give you an idea for the experience that you can expect to have with the Vudu player, how long it takes to get from screen to screen, what it's like to buy a movie, and there are 2 kind of components of the Vudu box that I'm going to show you. One is movies, how to download a movie and watch a movie, and the other one is the Vudu Labs section, which lets you go to YouTube, Flickr, Picasa. It's kind of a new experimental project that really brings a ton of content to the Vudu box. I think it's one of the ways that the Vudu box stands above other set-top boxes out there. So anyway, this is your main screen. You can flip through the featured titles here quite easily with the scroll wheel, but I want to go to Explore Catalog because I want to download a movie right now. I'm going to go to Search by Title over here, and I'm going to type Hulk for The Incredible Hulk. And what it does is it searches as you type, and wow, it came up pretty fast actually. On the left there, you'll see the list of matches, and right at the top is The Incredible Hulk. So I'm going to click on that one, and it will take me to the information screen. And this is what you get. On the right, in the upper right, you get a synopsis. Below that, you get information, playtime, rating, year, that sort of thing, genre. Below that, it tells you the formats that it's available in. Now, this is kind of important, especially if you have a high-definition box. You have standard definition, which is kind of crappy. You have HD, which is probably around 1080i, maybe 720p. Then you have the HDX, which is the top of the top, 1080p, completely uncompressed. So the audio is fantastic, very discrete channels. The picture is incredible. It's not quite Blu-ray, but it's almost Blu-ray. So let's say I want to do the HDX. So I'm going to do, over here on the left, you see where the selection box is. I'm going to do rent from $3.99. And it's going to show me the 3 different prices depending on what I want. The HDX is $5.99 for a 24-hour rental period. This is kind of in the higher end of the price. Usually they're about $4.99, but the Incredible Hulk is just out, so it's priced higher. So if I click on it, it says rent for $5.99, and it will be available in 2 hours. I know what you're thinking, 2 hours, are you kidding me? I don't want to wait 2 hours. Well, here's the thing. The HDX videos are so big that even over a high-speed line, it takes a long time to download. That said, if you want to get the HD version, it will start immediately. And simultaneously, if you want to have the HDX version download, you can go to any other movie in their catalog and start watching it immediately. Let me demonstrate that. So let's go to The Grinch, Horton Hears a Who. Let's start watching it in... You can't rent this one. It looks like it's not out. Let's do this movie and rent. And I am going to choose HD. Ready to watch. And watch how fast this is. It's going to come up on the screen probably in about 10 seconds, even though I'm downloading a BDX title at the same time. So watch now. And here we are. The movie's already starting while I'm downloading a BDX title. So it's really amazing how fast this all works and how easy and intuitive it is. So if we go back to the main screen and we go to My Vudu, we can kind of see our rentals right now and what's being downloaded. So I'm going to go to My Rentals, and it shows me these are all the movies that I've been watching lately. We have The Incredible Hulk right here, and it's in download queue. There's another movie that's in the download queue. And when it's done, the Hulk will start downloading. Okay, so that was movies on the Vudu player. The movie experience on the Vudu player is fantastic. It's one of the best that I've ever seen on any set-top box. The movies are quickly available to download. The selection is pretty darn good. It's not perfect. I have run into some movies that aren't available to download yet, but Vudu is a startup company. They're starting to bring on more and more titles all the time. Okay, so let's go into the next section of this, Vudu Labs. This is a new thing. This kind of brings a whole new realm of content to your Vudu box, and I think it's really important. Okay, and we can do a few things here. Hopefully you can see this. We can do YouTube. We can do on-demand TV. Look at G4 TV, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, a lot of that kind of stuff. TV channels that you watch on your regular channel. Then we have Picasa. Let's do Picasa, because what you can do is actually log into your account if you have Picasa online, and you can flick through all of your pictures. So this is a demo, and it kind of shows you movie quotes while you're waiting, so you don't get bored. But wow, looking at pictures on an LCD television is amazing. They're coming up right now. And this is kind of the demo that comes on the Vudu box. And so imagine you've just uploaded some pictures to Picasa, and you're doing a slideshow for your family or friends. Pretty cool stuff. All right, let's go back. And let's go to YouTube. You can watch every YouTube video that is on YouTube.com. So I am going to I'm going to search for John for Lakers, bring up the John for Lakers channel. John for Lakers. And hopefully get one of John's videos on the screen. And that should be enough. Done. Oh, there's one right here. John for Lakers. And let's go more from the author so we can get the John for Lakers YouTube channel right on the screen. Here are all John's videos. So here is the man himself, and we can play it full screen. It's loading. It takes just a second. And of course the sound is off right now. And what's really great is that I can leave John on the right side of my screen while I browse his other videos, or even go through the rest of YouTube. So a really great interface for YouTube from Vudu Labs. So let's move on from here. Okay, so let's go to on-demand TV. There's a lot of different content here. So we can go to Science and Technology. We've got David Pogue from the New York Times. We've got Walt Mossberg from the Wall Street Journal. We've got some NASA things, National Geographic. And it's all really good quality. Some of it's HD, some of it's SD. But it all works really well. And, 10 seconds or less to watch it on the screen. And here it is. So you could spend a really long time if you never download any movies at all, just in the Vudu Lab section of Vudu. And there's also some games on here, which is kind of funny. You can play Free Cell. There's one called Cooper, which allows you to shoot down asteroids and that sort of thing. So guys, I know it was a long video, but I hope I gave you a really good feel for how the Vudu player works with you and kind of the experience that it will bring you. In the next video, we're going to cover kind of the pros and the cons, wrap it all up, and I'll tell you if this is something that you should buy and kind of give you an overall opinion on it. So that's it for now. I'll see you soon.